Good morning. Welcome, Facebook family, to this week's edition of St. Louis Home Chat. I'm your host, Angela Dillmon, with the Dillmon Group at Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield, where our average sale price is 101.51% of the asking price. Today we're here with Glen at Cornerstone Mortgage. Glen is our favorite lender who helps us solve all our lending problems every week. He has low closing costs, great rates, and one of the things that we love about Glen the most is that he'll look out for you. He'll always do the right thing by you. Today we're here to talk about how do I buy a home when I already own one and my home is in a price range that's going so quickly, and I'm afraid I'm going to be homeless if I sell my home, that I won't be able to find another one. Because in this market under $450,000, there's 3 buyers for every can of soup on the shelf. These homes are going very quickly. If you've got great advice on staging, marketing, price, you are going quickly. So how in the world do I sell my home, not be homeless, and find another home? So today we're going to talk to Glen about solving that problem. So Glen, let's just say I have a home, it's around $300,000, and I know if I put that home on the market, it's gone the first day, and I just don't want to be homeless. And I want to go out and I want to buy a home around $200,000, and that's also a price range where there's 3 buyers for every can of soup on the shelf. And how in the world do I say to that seller, hey, I'd love to buy your home, but I got one to sell? We call that a home sale contingency. And that seller is sitting with 5 offers on the home. He's automatically going to discard your offer that's contingent on your home sale because he doesn't need to jump over that hurdle when he's sitting with 5 other offers that are either cash or just need to get a loan, get an inspection, and go to closing. So, Glen, what are my options to sell that $300,000 house and not be homeless and find another home first?
First, you want to sit down and look at the numbers. And almost everybody that you send me starts with a phone call, or I prefer an appointment, and we're going to analyze your income, and we're going to make sure that you have the ability to carry both of those mortgages. And with the interest rates so low, I find it very few cases where we actually say, you're not qualified, you have to sell your house before you can buy this one. That does occur, but it's a rarity. And a lot of times when you look at these numbers, the interest rates are so low right now, the payments are lower than what people are expecting, that financially they can be qualified to carry both those mortgages. And it used to be in the old days, it was the front ratio, the amount of your house payment divided by your gross monthly income wasn't to exceed 28%, and the back ratio would be both house payments and any other debts wasn't to exceed 36%. Well, things are much different now. On the government loans, we can go up as high as 56%. Now, nobody wants 56% of their income going to all their debts, but remember, this is temporary until you get your house sold.
Okay, so what's the first thing, what are my options? What kind of loans are my options to talk about? First of all, tell me about what's the easiest option to look at if I want to try to buy this home without selling mine.
The easiest option is to look at that new home and put down the minimum amount. On the government loans, you only need 3.5% of the sale price down. On the conventional loans, 5%. So seeing if now we've established that you can qualify for these payments, now we're going to find out where the cash is to come for the down payment. And Angie, you're great about having the seller negotiate the closing costs and the prepaids. And one of the things that I love about working with you is oftentimes it's the seller and the lender working together to cover the closing costs and the prepaid. So all you need is that down payment money. Now, where to find that down payment money? The easiest way is if you have it in your checking or savings account, but not everybody has that.
Right.
The second best way is to access a home equity loan. And I would say anybody that's considering moving in the next year, 2 years, go out and get a home equity loan. The cost is crazy low. Most of the time they're free.
Yeah. And
a bank or a credit union will give you that home equity loan, and you don't pay any cost to get it, and you only pay interest on the money if you use it.
There you go. Only pay interest on the money if you use it. That's a great option.
It's like a credit card secured against your house. That's a great option. The trouble is, once your house is up for sale and listed, the credit unions and banks, they're not so crazy about making their loan because they know they're not going to make that much money. Although we do have resources that can do, but we're talking about easy right now.
Right.
The second option is accessing your 401k. The beauty about using the 401k for the down payment is you're not liquidating it and paying a huge penalty. you're borrowing that money.
Borrowing against it.
And
Interesting option.
The great thing about borrowing against your 401k, it sounds terrible, but guess who gets paid the interest back? You do. Yeah. The interest that you pay actually goes into your account and it builds. And then when you sell your house, you're going to pay that money back.
You're going to pay it back. So no harm, no foul. Didn't have to liquidate it. Didn't stop earning money on it. So there you go.
Actually, you earn a little bit more money on it, and you're paying yourself that interest instead of another lender.
That's
so that leaves
awesome.
us the third option, which is the gift. A lot of people don't realize the gift can come from several sources. It should be a relative, although we're not hard and fast on that, but somebody that's connected to you emotionally, I would say. Somebody that is comfortable
Very
giving
close.
you this money. Yeah, somebody close to you. And I found this out, and I've been in the business a long time, still learning new things. The gift can also come from your employer. We had a mechanic who worked for a garage, and his employer actually loaned him the money for the down payment.
Oh, how about
and then he paid it back
As soon as he
3
sold
times.
his house.
Right.
All right. So people don't also talk about bridge loans. What's the difference between a bridge loan and a home equity loan?
So they're essentially the same. You know, in the good old days, the bridge loan would be a loan that encumbered both properties. I'm not a big fan of bridge loans. There's some banks out there that are still doing they're the most expensive option. They're probably my least favorite option because you're going to have to get appraisals on both properties. You're going to pay closing costs, and the interest rates are going to be a little bit higher because there's no way for the bank long term to recoup their money, so they're going to charge that money in interest and closing costs.
Okay, so if I'm going to do home equity, let's say, one of my easy options,
Yes.
what kind of rates are they giving on home equities right now? And are they fixed, or are they jumping all around? Or how
Again,
does that
the
work?
home equity, like I said, it's similar to a credit card, so it's not going to be a fixed rate, but it's going to be extremely low adjustable rate, and it's going to be tied to prime. So as prime moves up, it goes up with it. And I would say typically those rates are 3 to 4%, depending on your credit score.
I see.
Also, the good thing about the bridge loan is most of the time those are going to be paid back, give you an interest-only option. So that keeps the payment very low because you're not going to pay any of the principal down.
Okay, so if I'm looking at a house that's $200,000 and I want to put my 5% down, and I find it through my home equity, or I have it in cash, or somebody gives it to me, then what kind of rate can I expect on that loan? And then how, when I sell my home, what in the world do I do with a 95% loan to value here when I don't really want a 95% loan on that new house to begin with? Because I'm downsizing.
Right.
And if I'm downsizing, I want my payment to be as low as possible, if not zero, and I want my real estate taxes low. What happens to that loan?
So a couple different options we can look at. We can do what's called subordinate financing, to where we do a first at 80% or 70% and a second mortgage in between. So you would just pay that second mortgage off when you sell your house. Or most of the time, we just refinance or restructure that loan once your house is sold. And the great thing about that, because we have the title work done, because we have the appraisal, we keep the closing costs on that restructure at a bare minimum, if not zero.
How about that? So a lot of great options to be able to try to buy a new home when you have one to sell without being homeless, without breaking the bank, and to do something that's just temporary, that can be easily restructured, or getting that second mortgage and a first mortgage on the new one where you just pay that second off, and voila, you're just left with the loan that you wanted to begin with if you had sold your home. So those are all great options. And right now, as Glenn said, rates are so low that it's really a great option to consider if you're going to do this. Now, the other opportunity in the marketplace right now is if you have a house under $450 and you want to sell it and you want to move up to a $450 or higher. That market is already slowed in our area, and so you can sell quickly at fantastic prices because you have so much buyer demand, and then buy in a market that's slower and doesn't have as much buyer demand and is more of a buyer's market. So opportunities abound everywhere right now. You just have to find them, and you have to get the right advice. So we recommend you talk to Glen Calvin at Cornerstone Mortgage for all your mortgage needs. Thanks for watching today, and you guys have a great day. We're going to see you next week, where we're going to talk to Sue Newman about a very interesting travel opportunity. She has a travel business called Moonlight Travel, and we're going to be talking to her next Tuesday. Till then, I'm Angela Dillmon at the Dillmon Group with Keller Williams Chesterfield. Have a great day.